Hey, it's Menacing MTG, and I just want to take a minute to run through what are arguably the most powerful type of card available in the Kaldheim set. These are very high impact cards. There are 20 of them, and they're sagas. They're very thematic, um, and we're just going to take a quick look at them so you have a sense of what they are and what they do. I don't own all of these, but have incorporated many of them into decks already, and just want to make you aware of these cards and how potent they are. So, not all of them are rare cards, many of them are uncommon, and they're outrageous values. Okay, so bang for the buck, the sagas are at the top of the list, can fit into most of the archetypes that are present in Kaldheim. Here we go. Let's take a quick look. Nico defies destiny. A 3-drop Azorius. Gain 2 life for each foretold card you own in exile. Add a white and blue mana. Spend this mana only to foretell cards, um, or cast cards that have foretell. Um, Return target card with foretell from your graveyard to your hand. High potency, fits into a certain type of deck. Foretell. Okay. Um, Raven's Warning. These don't enlarge since I don't own them. Create a 1/1 blue bird creature with flying and you gain 2 life. Now, this is also a 3-drop Azorius. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player this turn, look at that player's hand and draw a card. And lastly, you may put a card you own from outside the game on top of your library. Powerful 3-drop flying theme, but also some sideboard action there. Okay, Ascent of the Worthy. This is a warrior kind of angel thing, I think. Let's see. Choose a creature you control until your next turn. All damage that would be dealt to creatures you control is dealt to this creature instead. Um, Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a flying counter on it. That creature is an angel warrior in addition to other types. Okay, so that's just an amazing thing. Firja's Retribution. Have used this, have had this used against me. Very powerful card. Create a 4/4. There's a 4-drop, Azorius. Angel, demon deck kind of thing. Um, Create a 4/4 white angel warrior creature token with flying and vigilance. Wow, okay, that's worth the price of the card plus. Um, until the end of turn, angels you control gain tap and destroy target creature with power less than this creature's power. Then the last one is angels you control gain double strike until end of turn. Amazing, okay? Next, we have a Dimir card. Each player mills 4 cards. Then you may exile a creature or planeswalker card from each graveyard. Um, then the next 2 are until the end of turn, you may cast spells from among cards exiled with King Narfi's Betrayal, and you may spend mana as though the mana was of any color. 3-drop. Next, I've used this card. It's amazing. The Trickster God's Heist. Dimir 4-drop. You may exchange control of 2 target creatures. So, for example, you're running a sacrifice deck. You use the Acquisitions Expert, which is a 2-drop, and they have something more potent on the board that you want. Amazing right here. You get that creature, they get the used up Acquisitions Expert. Then next one, you may exchange control of 2 non-basic, non-creature permanents that share a card type. So now I have used this to take an enchantment. Now the only drawback to that would be I exchange this card for an enchantment. The only drawback to that is that the next turn, that player would get to play out the third thing, which is target player loses 3 life, you gain 3 life. But I gained a powerful uh, enchantment that you could use for the rest of the game. So pretty amazing. The exchange is worth its weight by itself. All right. There are two giant specific sagas here, and here's the first one, just a 2-drop, scry 2, then draw a card. Then you may reveal a giant card from your hand. When you do, Invasion of the Giants deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Excuse me. And lastly, the next giant cast spell you cast this turn costs 2 less to cast. Okay, an amazing 2-drop. And then the biggie, Battle of Fire, Frost and Fire, 5-drop. The first one, first turn, Battle of Frost and Fire deals 4 damage to each non-giant creature and each planeswalker. So I use this in my Is It Giant deck. It's an amazing card. Both of these sagas I used in that deck. Outstanding. That deck is amazingly potent for just having a few rare cards in it. Then the second turn is Scry 3, and then the last one is whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost of 5 or greater this turn, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Okay, can't beat that. Next one I do not own, Blood Sky Massacre. Create a 2/3 Demon Berserker token with Menace. Second turn, whenever a Berserker attacks this turn, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Third turn, add 1 red mana for each Berserker you control until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as the steps and phases end. Okay, amazing, but this is, needless to say, Berserker specific. Okay, and then have used this card as well. Kaldheim's Vicious Return. You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, Kaldheim's Vicious Return deals 3 damage to any target. Then each player discards a card. This I used in my Rakdos Turgid deck. Then return target creature from graveyard to battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. Okay, several of these cards, for example, this one so far, can be game enders if played at the right time. This one too. I've dropped some of these cards and people just fold. That's it. They give up because they're so strong and thematic that it really makes the opponent feel hopeless about the game. Next, and another amazing one here, I use this in my Golgari Poison Death Touch deck. Destroy target non-land permanent in opponent controls. Okay, you go and you do this with Meteor Golem, but Meteor Golem is a 7-drop. This does the same thing for a 4-drop. Of course, it's not a 3/3 creature, but what's the big whoop? Look at the other things that you get with this card. The next turn, search your library for a forest card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Last turn, creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Outrageous. Okay, then Herald unites the elves. Okay, I do have this in my deck that I'm building and refining right now, or rather, I have hopes of putting this in an elf deck. It's a Golgari elf deck. This would fit beautifully into that deck. So the first turn, mill 3 cards. You may put an elf or a Tyvar card from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Wow, huge. Okay. Next, put a +1/+1 counter on each elf you control. I'm waiting on my deck to get this card in there. It's going to be probably a week or so. Then last turn, whenever an elf you control attacks this turn, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. May work well, may not, that last one, but hey, elf specific deck. Next, Arnie slays the troll. Target creature you control fights up to one target creature you don't control. Next, add 1 red mana, put 2 1/1 counters on up to one target creature you control. Last, gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. This is a 2-drop, folks, a 2-drop. Next, we got this troll theme. That's not limited to trolls, but certainly any Gruul deck would benefit from that. Waking of the Trolls. This is a 6-drop, which is the most expensive saga in the set by far. There's several 4-drops, maybe one 5-drop. First 2 turns, create a treasure token. You know where this is going. And this is a 3-drop. It is Boros. The 3rd turn, search your library for a card named Halvar, God of Battle, or an equipment card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay, so create 2 treasure tokens, then go search the big god out, put it in your hand. Okay, so then you're able to play that card the next turn. Okay, next up, Showdown of the Scalds. This is also Boros. It's a 4-drop. Exile the top 4 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Second turn, whenever you cast a spell this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And then you do that again the 3rd turn. Pretty potent card. Okay, next up, a 3-drop Celestia Saga. Create a 1/1 human warrior creature token on the 1st turn. 2nd turn, create a 1/1 green elf warrior token. And then the 3rd turn, choose any number of artifact tokens and or creature tokens you control with different names. For each of them, create a token that's a copy of it. Okay, so so this is clearly going to be a token deck or a warrior deck or an elf deck, and with artifacts, because that's how you're going to maximize the value out of this card. So a lot you could do with this card for a 3-drop. Next, also Celestia, also 3-drop, Fall of the Imposter. Put a 1/1 counter on up to one target creature each of the first 2 turns. Then the last turn is exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. This is a 3-drop, folks. That's incredibly powerful. To be able to exile the opponent's most powerful creature, it's an amazing thing. Okay, next, a 2-drop Dimir Saga. The 3 seasons, mill 3 cards. 2nd turn, return up to 2 target snow permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. 3rd turn, choose 3 cards in your graveyard. Their owners, in each graveyard, their owners shuffle those cards into their libraries. Okay, pretty amazing. Obviously, a snow theme here. Okay, next, also a Dimir card, 3-drop. This is kind of a shapeshifter themed card. The Bears of Lejara. 1st turn, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature with challenging. And challenging is that it's any creature type. 2nd turn, any number of target shapeshifter creatures you control have a base power and toughness of 4/4. So now this works really well with the Ascendant card, the 1-drop. and many others. So I'm going to be working this into a shapeshifter deck that I am currently building with Ascendant Spirit. Um, and this is an amazing card with that type of deck. Um, Choose up to one target creature or planeswalker. Each creature with power of 4 or greater deals damage equal to its power to that permanent. Okay, so and another outstanding value here. This deck I'm hoping to have by the end of the weekend, the Shapeshifter deck, which is actually 3 color, white, green, blue, and that's the whole 9. So there, excuse me, the whole 20. I hope you found this video informative. Go check out these sagas. Hey, please give me a subscribe, a like, or please make suggestions of what you'd like to see. All right, have a great day. Thanks for watching.